Okay, what's going on, guys? Dr. Stephen James here to bring you another video. Today is my weekly review of this week's episode for The Walking Dead. It is called No Other Way. Before we get started, I have just a couple notes to make. First of all, it may seem like I haven't uploaded in more than a week, but the truth is, I filmed my first Randonautica video. Unfortunately, it is still processing. I uploaded it to YouTube on Monday, and unfortunately, for some reason, it's still processing. Like I said, I have no idea why. But anyway, since then, I have had multiple doctor's appointments and meetings and work days. So I basically haven't had a day with nothing going on until today, since Sunday. So when it comes to uploading, I tend to want my entire plate cleared out so that I'm not so overwhelmed. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get into this. So before we get started, first of all, spoiler warning, if you have not seen the episode. We return to the Pope's Sanctuary, where Leah is following cluster missiles, has framed Daryl for the Pope's death, and yeah, so of course our group escapes, but not before having to take out a few of the Pope's men. So they regroup, and they eventually capture one of their men, and I have to say they did it in a pretty awesome fashion. I mean, the final knockout was pretty cheap. Of course, Negan delivered it, but it was awesome. It was awesome to watch, nonetheless. And anyway, getting back to Alexandria, it is still under siege due to, according to, I can't remember who said it, but it was at least a couple reaches. So, Diane says that Judith and Gracie still have not been seen in a while, and that's because they're stuck in the basement where they got overrun, because previously Judith was looking for Gracie, who turned out to be in the basement because she was looking for a personalized weapon like Judith's sword, and as a result they both got stuck until Aaron, Gracie's adoptive dad, broke through a window and got them out. And I have to say, that was really cool to watch. When I first saw Aaron just pound the walker's head in with his prosthetic limb, Aaron is giving Rick a run for his money as the coolest dad in The Walking Dead. Yo, I have to say, I mean, this is going a little off topic, but I've been meaning to say it. I read that Rick loses his hand in the Rick Grimes movie, if it does happen. I mean, without any news, it kind of feels like a pipe dream, but if it's going to happen, they gotta cut Rick's hand off, because the only reason why they've never done it in the show is because it would be too much CGI for a main character in the budget. But he certainly has injured his hand quite a few times, from punching Therese, to cutting his hand on a machete, to puncturing his hand on a spiked walker, which, by the way, there's never any hole in his hand after that, which there should be, because a wound like that takes weeks to heal, or even months more likely. So, yeah, anyway, moving on. Aaron then gets himself stuck and is saved by Lydia, which I can't remember how she found out, but that was nonetheless a pretty cool moment. Anyway, that's it for Alexandria for now. Getting back to Maggie, Negan, and Daryl, what they're doing. They take the guy to Leah, which actually reminds me of the Vatos episode in season 1, where where they're trading where they're trading one of their own for Glenn. I mean, that's what that kind of reminded me of. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe it's just nostalgia. Either way, I kind of enjoyed it, especially after Gabriel killed their guy on Overwatch and took the rifle, turned it against him. I thought that was pretty cool. And I have to say, I really liked Gabriel in this episode, and Maggie too, but we'll get more on her in a bit. But I want to add that previously, Gabriel ran into that guy that he previously ran into in the episode Promises Broken. That was episode 7. You know, he was supposed to kill him on sight, but he didn't because he started saying a prayer, and it turns out that the guy knew that Gabriel was watching him, because according to him, God said so. I mean, did he actually say so? I mean, it was more likely because his instincts told him to, but I digress. Anyway, he gave Gabriel a chance to turn back. And, of course, Gabriel refused his request because he's still the enemy. He is still looking at someone who has killed his friends. So, yeah, of course, he declined his offer to join him. Was it kind of stupid for him to drop his knife? Maybe, but you know what? Honestly, I kind of think it made for a cool scene. So, anyway, after the standoff with Leah and Daryl, they were given a chance to walk away, but Maggie wasn't having it. She shot them and killed their hostage with Elijah's weapon, which I thought was a really badass moment. And that actually kind of reminded me of another sequence in Fear the Walking Dead with June and Virginia, who shot Virginia point blank in the head. Obviously they're very different sequences, but the feeling I got when that happened was pretty much the same. I thought it was so awesome. And afterwards, I didn't really catch this the first time I watched it. I mean, I only caught this when I returned earlier today to get some pictures for this video. It turns out that Leah didn't really get very far that I originally thought. She was actually hiding behind some debris, and Daryl knew where she was, and he said that he didn't want this, which of course he didn't, but he also said that they were given a chance, and he just told them to run far away. There is still footage of Leah shown in the trailer, so obviously this is not the last we're gonna see her. And anyway, So Maggie finally goes back to the church or the chapel where they have Alden, whom I have to say, I didn't really think he would make it because, I mean, they left him alone, wounded for what seems like maybe 2 days. I don't know. Either way, I thought it, yeah, I thought it sucked. I mean, I didn't really think he'd make it, but still, rip my boy Alden. I knew that, someone had to die in this episode. It just sucks that it had to be him. So, yeah, anyway, after giving Alden a proper barrier, Negan talks to Maggie, and when he's holding that knife, you kind of think that, he's about to kill him, but no, he just points out that he was always going to do what he just points out that she was always going to do what she did, and although Negan doesn't really blame her per se, he knows that he can't really trust her not to do the same to him, so he decided to walk away. Needless to say, I think we all can agree that this is not the last we will see Negan, because, because he has become such a big part of the show lately, and, he has already came and went at least twice already that I can think of off the top of my head. So, yeah, that was a pretty interesting sequence. Will we see Negan in the next episode? It doesn't really look like it, but that's a topic for next week. So they finally make. So our group finally makes their way back to Alexandria, and Connie, who was previously unseen by the Alexandrians until this episode, it's becomes a touching reunion. I would have gotten some photos of the sequence, but I mean that would have taken. I would have had to have taken way too many photos. But anyway, in the interest of keeping this video a little shorter, skipping ahead to a couple minutes later, the Commonwealth makes its way to Alexandria, and I have to say, Eugene looks like such a dope in this shot right here. Honestly, he's like so innocent. Like nothing's gonna go wrong to him. So yeah. Anyway, the leader of the Commonwealth has offered Alexandria a proposal to join their community, or if they need supplies or anything like that, the Commonwealth is willing to supply. Accept the proposal or not, I'm still not sure. We'll have to see what happens. But fast forwarding to 6 months later, I mean, honestly, I think this is one of the coolest time jumps we've ever seen in The Walking Dead, if not the coolest. It looks like they rebuilt Hilltop, and Maggie is standing at the front gate, and Daryl is facing off against her in a stormtrooper getup. Why? I mean, how did this transpire? We don't know, but I don't know about you, but I'm pretty interested to find out. So anyway, with all that being said, I think all that remains is to give my rating to this episode. I'm gonna give it a 9.9. I mean, it's almost perfect for me. I just wish they didn't kill off Alden in this episode. Otherwise, I'd give it a 10. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna give it a 10 for now anyway. It's actually perfect to me. Obviously, that rating is going to change at some point someday, but for now, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, ton of post notifications. I know this was kind of a long one, but also rest in peace, Stephen Campbell, the director of photography for a long time in The Walking Dead, has passed. But so yeah, anyway, rip Stephen Campbell, and as always, Dr. Stephen James saying peace. Later, guys. See you in the next video.